Wait, of course.
Okay, 2.2, solving equations graphically. When we solve equations graphically, we're going to solve them and ask for several different things today. We're going to ask for x and y intercepts. We're going to ask for points of intersection. Yes.
Woo.
We're going to ask for points of intersection. So x and y intercepts means where the graph crosses the x-axis or where the graph crosses the y-axis. To do it by hand, how would I find an x-intercept by hand?
Look at that X. Look horizontal.
No, I said by hand, not by graphing. Hey, focus. Yes, you put 0 in for y and solve for x, and that's your x-intercept. Then if you want to find a y-intercept by hand, you plug in 0 for y, or for x, and solve. Okay. How many points of intersection is in this graph, and what are they on?
Trace on the X.
On the x, so 3x intercepts. What about this one?
Y.
Okay, this?
Zero.
0, this one?
Trace on the X.
2 on the X.
2 on the Y, 1
One
on
on
the
the
X.
x. Okay, so when we graph things on our graphing calculator today, we're going to use the trace feature or we're going to use the table feature to figure out what those x and y intercepts are. Okay, so if I want to find the x and y intercepts by hand here, what do I need to do first? Okay, so if I plug 0 in for x, that means that I get this, which means y equals 5/3. So my y-intercept would be 0, 5/3, yes? To find the x-intercept, I plug 0 in for y, and I would get 2x equals 5, which means x equals 5 seconds. So 5 seconds, 0.
Ow.
Okay, that's the first part of your homework tonight. You're gonna have to find x and y intercepts by plugging 0 in and solving.
That's so hard.
That's easy. Okay, now let's verify that -2 and 3 are zeros of f of x equals x squared minus x minus 6. How would you verify that?
You plug in the two, yeah, you plug in the for that.
Okay, plug the -2 in for x. So I should get f of -2 equals -2 squared minus -2 minus 6. What's -2 squared? 4, and then I have plus 2 minus 6, and 4 plus 2 is 6, minus 6 is 0. So f of -2 equals 0, check. Now I have to do it also for 3. F of 3 equals 3 squared minus 3 minus 6, right? 3 squared is 9. Minus 3 minus 6, so f of 3 equals 0, check. I need to see that worked out,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
Yes,
So make sure you work it out for me.
Alright, Kim.
Okay, the next 2 sets, we're going to use our graphing calculator. So take that out. Now, we want to make sure, when you are graphing these, make sure that your plots are turned off. All you want is your equation in the y1 and in the y2. It says use a graphing utility to approximate any solutions of, and the first one is 2x cubed minus 3x plus 2 equals 0. So you're just plugging in 2x cubed minus 3x plus 2 in your graphing. I would suggest that your window be in standard form.
10.
Yep, the 10s.
Hey, I don't. Increasing the window doesn't do anything for me. It just makes it harder to read.
Well, when it's larger graphs, it makes it so that you can actually see the whole graph.
It goes like.
Hell yeah, I wish I had that.
What do you think yours
Me
goes
too.
like?
She got the iPhone and the calculator. We got Android.
I got Android for real.
Talia, what do you think this one looks like?
It looks like. Hold on, let me check my.
They can put pictures on there.
Wait, so what are we doing?
Because
Like,
if you,
plug into the
and what's
motor?
your window in though?
I got games on mine.
-20 to 20. -10, 10, 1, -10, 10. Wait.
Ben 10. Ben 10.
Why?
What?
Which one are we plugging into our graphing calculator?
Yeah, let's try a window of 20.
Wait, so if I press the
It
trace
still looks like
feature,
that.
If you do a window of 20, does it just go straight down? What does it look like?
Mine goes like
So -20.
like this.
Yeah.
Yours has like an in thing to it, right? Yeah. What are you counting
I
by?
did the first one. Yeah.
X squared plus 2. Alright, 2 plus 3.
2x.
Okay, good. So now you have a little thing that looks something like an in, well, it's kind of like an in.
Mine is just smaller.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay. Now, we want to find all the intercepts, okay? There's a couple ways to do that. You could press trace and then you have to like move your arrow all around. You could press table, okay? Second graph,
I like the
and
table.
you have to scroll through that, or you can press second trace, and go to,
Second versus.
Oh, great idea.
Oh, you love that.
I could probably be doing this like that.
So
These are decimals though, I don't like that.
that's okay, decimals are fine. Second trace, you could go to the 0 values, you can go to the intersect value. You can do either, and then you can go from there also, it'll take you down to other things. Okay? So what are our possible intercepts?
0, comma
0, comma 2.
2, and then negative 1.5.
Dude, I don't know if I grabbed him right on the second one, or would it be like,
I'm not on the second one yet.
I don't think you grab him on the second one.
Just one right now. We're just grabbing one right now. Okay, so Tyler, stop it now. So you said 0, 2.
Yeah.
What else did you say?
There is
Negative
a.
1.50.
Shush, I'm trying to think of negative 1.5, negative 0.
Negative 0.
It's a decimal, hold on.
I don't think it's 0, 2. I don't think it crosses anywhere on the positive side.
That's what I
You mean the y-intercept is 0, 2?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Y-intercept is 0, 2. The x-intercept is what?
Negative 1.50.
Negative 1.5, negative 1.4, or something like that, yes.
No way, I didn't get that.
Negative.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Hold on, I got negative 1.5, negative 0.4.
Okay, it's 0.
Okay, yes, what?
Wait, so what did you say we have to go to math?
No, you don't have to do math at all.
Yeah, because my calculator was over there.
Okay, listen, did you put it into the graph? X cubed, I'm talking to Jenner. X cubed minus 2x, right?
Oh, yeah.
Minus 3x
Oh, you're on your plot, son.
plus 2, and then graph it. This kid. Okay, and then after you do that, you're going to do any of those 3 features. If you do, if you press, guys, stop talking. If you press second calculate and you do the 0 values, okay? You get something called left bound and right bound, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I do that,
I still got the same thing.
yeah, you should get the same thing, but it's probably the easiest way to do it is to use the second and the zeros. So your 0 should be, like you said, for the y-intercept is 0, 2, and then your x-intercept should be like 0, or it should be like negative 1.5, 0.
Yeah.
It was the same thing, what's the difference between them?
Not much. It's not, nothing that we need to know about.
Okay.
Nothing that we will have problems with. When you get into calculus, it would make it more accurate. Okay. You said not get into
I
calculus.
got this.
Now, put in the next one, the x squared plus 3 equals 5x. How do you put that in your calculator?
You gotta divide.
No,
It's extra plus your x side stuff.
get this on the other side. So you would rearrange it to say
So we're on
minus
5.
5x plus 3 equals 0.
Yeah, I actually got like 5.
Guys.
You said I was the one with the black.
No, we're on A.
Oh my.
Hey, Jenner, put the Reese Pieces away and do this on your calculator. So x squared minus 5x plus 3. So plug that in.
There's 3.
It looks like,
I got 0,
Sugar.
3,
It's not a fact.
0.
No, I'm about to
So
scratch.
you have a parabola on this one, yes?
Yes.
And it looks something like
On blue.
this.
No.
And you should have two x-intercepts and one y-intercept probably. Okay, so once again, what's wrong?
No x-intercepts.
One way.
You should have two x-intercepts and a y-intercept.
The x-intercept on the left is 0.7, and then negative 0.2.
So your x-intercept should be 0, 3, right?
0, 3, and then 0.6, 0, and then
Uh-huh.
4.2, 0.
What?
You said 4.20?
You should have 0, 3.
Yeah, I got that.
You should have something about 0.60-ish.
That's a buckle one.
Well, 0.6, 0.7. You are estimating on all of these because it's not going to come out perfect.
I hate estimating.
And then you're gonna go over and you're gonna be around 0.43,
Wait.
Okay, can we draw this out?
4.3.
Oh,
And
Sorry,
then 0.3.
that's what I meant. And then what?
0.3.
No. 4.3?
Oh, so just do the x?
Yes.
so how do you get the y intercept? Only y what is?
You can press the trace feature.
And like, how do you know which one it is? So the y.
Are you in the table right now?
Yeah.
Well, if it's a y-intercept, it would say something 0 in the y column. And if it's an x-intercept, it says 0 in the x column and then something in the y, so you gotta scroll when you go through that way. If you press the second graph button, or if you press the trace button, you can just trace over it and see where it's at.
Okay.
Okay, now let's do this one here where we are going to put two things in and we want to find the points of
Man, shut up.
intersection. If it's a point of intersection, what does that mean?
Point out where they intersect.
Of where they intersect, right, I'm not looking for the x-intercepts or the y-intercepts, I'm
Where they
looking
cross.
for where those two graphs cross. So put x plus 2 in one of them and then go down to y2 and put in x squared minus 2x minus 2.
I'm gonna take that.
Wait, are we putting in the x squared and wait?
Put these two equations in.
Put those equations in.
Whoa, they intersect twice.
Right, you should get a parabola with a line going through it,
God,
correct?
they do.
And if you wanna find the points of intersection, you go second trace and you go to intersect.
Plus 4.
Okay, so negative 1.
The equation is.
So it's gonna be something like negative 1 and 0.9, right? And then it's gonna be something like,
Squares.
3.8 and 5.8, yes?
Wow.
Yeah, 3.9.
Yeah, something like that, okay?
Yep, correct, yep.
Oh, yes.
Try one more.
I wonder how cheeky.
This, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like.
What's showing
Oh
up?
wait, I did
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?
This is easy.
Saw the receipt.
Is it? Where's Derek?
Your thing.
Alright, Derek.
Shoot, I gotta figure out how to change it.
He's such a dad.
He is, bro.
But
Derek's
dad, how
so
many kids you
You're
got?
gonna need I need to look this up, cause I gotta remember how to change that. Do you see how your stuff is like bold over here? It's supposed to look like this over there.
Come on, Derek.
Our title said that's what they
Your
want.
Hey.
Android calculator.
So I've gotta change that in a
Don't be
second,
mean
but
to
I gotta
Derek.
look up online, cause
Just
I
because
don't
we got
remember.
Androids don't mean we're less than
Okay,
you.
so plug this in. X squared minus 3x plus 4.
It only intersects once.
Okay.
Yeah.
It only intersects once.
Yeah.
And then plug in x cubed
Yes,
Did you get 1.2 and 1.8?
I've been done.
plus 3x squared
Yeah.
minus
Clear 'em
2x
1.2, 1.2.
minus
Clear 'em
1.
up.
You press graph.
Intersect at 1.2.
1.8.
Oh yeah, they only intersect one, so press second trace, go
1.2
down
and
to
1.9.
intersect, and it will get us on that curve.
See that, bro?
So you got 1 point, you got like,
1.2.
1.2.
yeah, 1.2, 1.8, he rounded it, 1 or 1.9, those are both very close. What, Jenner?
I know, I was just saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is what you are
Sure.
doing on your homework tonight, those things.
Is that the whole lesson?
Yep, that's the whole
I know
thing.
that's